Hello, today on NurtureStore, a great art lesson that will introduce your children to the famous artist Alberto Giacometti. We'll be showing children that art can be fun. We'll build their confidence with some quick sketching and then learn about sculpture using an art material that you've probably got hiding in one of your kitchen drawers. I'm Kathy, the founder of NurtureStore, a great resource for you if you're teaching children. We've got hundreds of ready-made art lessons and hands-on activities to help you raise happy, confident and skilled children. Today's lesson is perfect if you want to teach your children about drawing, sculpture and famous art. It's great as part of a topic on the human body and communication, as we'll be thinking about how we talk with our body language and how the simplest of shapes can convey great emotion. It's also a great lesson for kids who find doing art hard because they lack confidence, or they worry about having to make everything perfect, or think that they can't draw. Because this lesson is light-hearted, a bit silly even, and anyone and everyone can join in and be successful. It's a great lesson if you're new to doing art with kids, if you have a limited budget or need something simple, because it only uses very basic materials and it's mess-free, no paint or glue. By the end of the video, you'll be able to teach your children about the artist Alberto Giacometti, lead them through a quick human figure sketching activity, and then create foil sculptures of people. Look out for extension ideas and more great famous artist lessons at the end of the video. The materials you'll need for this art lesson are very simple. Each child will need a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, a sheet of kitchen foil, which you might know as tin foil or aluminum, plus some extra pieces in case they want to make more than one sculpture, and they'll also need a pair of scissors. There's also an option to use air drying clay as an extension activity, but that's not necessary for the main lesson. Before we look at any of Giacometti's work, let's get our kids engaged straight away with a super quick warm-up round of stick figure drawing. This playful exercise gets everyone drawing without too much consideration and usually gets everyone giggling. NurtureStore's art lessons are always about having a go and enjoying the creative process. Being challenged to draw really quickly reminds us that art can be fun and light-hearted. We're not looking for perfection, it's all about joining in. We're here to have a try with an open mind and a playful spirit. So have each child take a piece of paper and divide it into 6 sections. You can do this by folding the paper in half long ways and then into 3 the other way, or by drawing a grid of 1 line and 2 lines, whichever is easiest for you. You could even prepare this paper beforehand if you think that makes things more accessible for your kids. You want to end up with 6 rectangles. They don't all have to be the exact same size, so long as you've got 6 spaces to draw in. Now let's try some quick drawing. Tell your kids to take a pen or a pencil, and in one of their rectangles, doesn't matter which one, they're going to draw a stick figure person. But you only have 10 seconds to draw it, so you're going to need to be quick. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just do a simple stick figure, and you can do a countdown if you like. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. How does your person look? Your children can show their pictures to each other or keep them to themselves as they prefer. Show them the figure you drew. Even better if it's a bit wonky, as you're showing it's all about having a go, not being perfect. In the next rectangle, ask your children to draw a stick figure of a person who's running. Give them a minute to think about how a person's elbows and knees bend when they run, and try to capture that in their sketch. But again, everyone only has 10 seconds to draw it, so they need to be quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. In their third rectangle, give them 10 seconds to draw a stick figure who's feeling sad. What shape does our body and our head have when they feel sad? Start drawing, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. In the fourth rectangle, give them 10 seconds to draw a stick figure who's comforting the one who is feeling sad. Ask them to think about how their body looks when they're being kind to someone else or showing friendship. 10 seconds to draw and stop. In the fifth rectangle, they have 10 seconds to draw someone who's feeling happy. How does it look to feel happy? Be quick, draw. And then in the final rectangle, give your children 10 seconds to draw a stick figure doing anything they like. You or their sibling or their classmates are going to try and guess what their figure's doing. So have them try and draw the stick figure in a way that shows it clearly. Give them a second to think about it and think about what they're going to draw. And then when they're ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. And see if you or anyone else in your family or your class can guess what the stick figures are doing. Chat with your children about how the simplest of stick figures can convey strong emotions like sadness and happiness. Talk about how a few simple lines drawn in just 10 seconds can show movement and action. So now we've warmed up our creative muscles, let's meet Alberto Giacometti. Giacometti was Swiss. He was born in 1901 and he died in 1966. He began painting, drawing and sculpting from a very early age and explored many art forms through his life. He's most famous for his tall, thin figures made of bronze. You can use the link in the video description to show your children examples of his figures, and as they look at them, ask your children, what can you see? What do you think the figures are made of? What words would you use to describe the people? How do you think the people are feeling? There are no wrong answers, so invite everyone to give their opinion. You can draw their attention to how the thin, elongated arms and legs of the people contrast with the strong metal that they're made of. Why do your children think Giacometti made them like this? Let's take our exploration of stick figures and the inspiration from Giacometti to now create some metal people of our own. We're going to turn flat, delicate kitchen foil into sculptures of people, inspired by the textured figures that Giacometti created. Each child will need a piece of kitchen foil, again you might call that tin foil or aluminum foil, a piece that's a bit bigger than A4 or letters size is a good one to start with. Have a look at this piece of foil and see how you can segment the foil into pieces that will become the head, arms, legs and torso of your person. Draw out the guidelines on your own piece of foil, and depending on how old your children are, you might like to have this prepared for them or to guide them through drawing the lines on themselves. You don't have to write the words on your foil, but you'll want to draw the line between the two legs, 2 lines across the torso, and 2 to separate the arms and the head. Next, use scissors to cut along the lines. Then each child can use their hands to scrunch up each section of the foil to turn it into their person. Tell them to be gentle so they don't pull off an arm or a leg, but remind them that the foil can be flattened and re-scrunched if they want to alter their figure. Once they've got the idea of how the flat kitchen foil can be sectioned out and scrunched up, they can have fun creating all sorts of different figures. They might move their foil figure to create some of the stick figures they drew. The arms, legs, back and neck will all bend easily so you can carefully reposition their person. They can also use additional pieces of foil to make more people and invite them to try making their figure stand or run or even do a yoga pose. They might like to work in pairs to create poses. One of them can use their own body to strike a pose, and the other one can recreate the pose in their foil sculpture. As an additional challenge, maybe they can get their sculpture to stand up on its own. This is quite hard as you'll need to play around with the balance of your person and their centre of gravity, but give it a try. For an extension idea, if you would like to keep exploring figures, you might like to use air drying clay to recreate one of your favourite poses to make a permanent clay sculpture. If you're a member of our Play Academy, you can download a ready-made All About Me thematic unit, which includes this lesson. I'll guide you through a series of lessons which you can use to help your children get to know themselves and each other. They can play our Get to Know You board game or use our printable conversation starters to start chatting with their classmates. They'll practice listening and speaking skills as they build this community. They can use this lesson to learn about bodies, how we look, how we move, how we show our feelings through body language. Then they can complete our All About Me journal page with a fun selection of prompts to get them reading, writing and drawing. Then make Play-Doh faces and think about how we look and how we might look in our wildest imaginings. And also learn about the artist Clementine Hunter and join in with a Draw Your Life art project to celebrate how special our unique everyday life is. You'll find details about how to get this unit and all the other Brilliant Play Academy ready-made units in this video's description. And you might like to explore the work of Keith Haring, another famous artist who uses simple stick figure style people in his art, but in a colourful way that is a real contrast to the art of Giacometti. I've got a ready-made art lesson all about Keith Haring on the NurtureStore website, which I'll link to in this video's description, so check that out if you'd like to give it a try. NurtureStore has a whole section of ready-made art lessons exploring the work of many famous artists like Henri Matisse, Vasily Kandinsky, Alma Woodsey Thomas and Esther Malongo. So subscribe to the channel and check out all the links to find more great resources for your teaching. Thanks for watching and have a great week with your children.